What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Rush Hour 4. Now, a couple things to say. All right, number one, I really don't get into politics, period. It's a golden rule, so I'm really going to try to avoid it beyond a few jokes, here and there. But also, I don't make this for the political necessarily element of it. Rush Hour is one of my favorite franchises. Rush Hour 4 specifically, I don't talk about a lot of movies on this channel, on Podcast Now, and this is actually one of the movies and one of the movie franchises that I have talked about in the past. I have a deep love for these. I watched them, growing up. My friends and I, my parents. I mean, I think these are just some phenomenal films, and I've been waiting for Rush Hour 4 for freaking forever. So this does get into the joke, okay, politically. If this is what Donald Trump is there to do, this is what God put him on the earth to do, is to somehow to make jokes, to talk politics with him just a little bit, but also to kind of be serious. Like, why does it take the president, also, like, why is that something that he's even doing in the first place? But why does it take the president of the United States of America to get them to make Rush Hour 4? Because here's the thing. I kind of thought it was a joke at first. Like, I saw the reports. I saw, Trump was pushing Paramount or whatever to do Rush Hour. I think I saw the line about, more raunchy. He wanted more raunchy comedies of the 80s and 90s. And by the way, I don't actually think that's wrong. I think there's a place for Rush Hour. You can't necessarily tell some of those jokes. Some of those jokes are just too much for nowadays. But I think those two, okay, the two behind me here, they have undeniable chemistry. They're so freaking funny. They're so amazing together, and they're not getting any younger. And it also kind of circles back to, why does Trump have to get into this? Why? Here's another thing, is this movie has been trying to get off the ground forever. And I do question, by the way, because, it's officially greenlit, right? I think that's the phrase they say. They're moving forward with it. Have they not been moving forward with it for the last 7-8 years? Now, I know it's had up and downs, but we've heard Jackie Chan talk about they are working on scripts. Didn't they read scripts before, or maybe they were waiting for scripts? But both of these two have wanted to do it, and they were fully committed. They were just kind of waiting for things to kind of get figured out, right? That was it. So I also just don't really understand the nature of the announcement. Did he really push them to do it? It definitely seems like he did, because one day after it was reported, it is now being pushed through, and the varieties and the deadlines are talking about it. But I don't understand, not the optics, but maybe the optics. I just don't get how, weren't we already doing this? Is this actually new? I guess it is, which makes me then question the last 7-8 years, which is well, have they not been waiting for a script because they said they were, or whatever, the case may be. So I just don't get that. And that's really as far politically, by the way, that I'm willing to get on this one. Honestly, I thank him for his action in this matter, because if it takes the president to get a Rush Hour 4, I will say there would have been no other chance in hell. If you need him to come to you to push you to do a Rush Hour 4, what are you doing? How in God's name were we supposed to get this if Trump wasn't there, or if Trump just didn't care about Rush Hour on any given day, which, by the way, you would never expect anybody to care about Rush Hour 4 in that way on any given day. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's where politics and jokes kind of end. I am very excited. I don't care how we got it. That's a thing that maybe muddies the waters. Maybe it goes back politically, and maybe that's a thing that kind of haunts this movie if it does continue to move forward, is now it's got kind of Trump over it, where it's well, why, or does that diminish it? For me, I'm willing to hope that, and I don't care, by the way, I don't care any politician, I don't care any figure. Number one, the movie should be separated from them 1,010%, right? It's and I would go 1,000%. When I watch Rush Hour 4, I shouldn't have to think about, was this movie made for our president or not? You know what I mean? And I don't care how the movie got made. I just care that it can stand alone. It can stand as its own thing. I hope I can look at this as it just needed the ultimate push, the biggest push on mankind that really it shouldn't have needed. It needed that push. And now it can be totally separated from not just him, not just anything. Just make Rush Hour 4. Just make it funny. Just make it charming. Just bring these characters back and have it be legendary. Again, it is going to be a little complicated. You got to go for jokes, and you probably have to push it as far as you can. Now, I didn't watch The Naked Gun, which is one that I want to watch really, really badly. Liam Neeson. Maybe that's one that you kind of look at. they actually kind of talked about looking at, like, say, just not being afraid to just tell jokes and just kind of go for it. And it seemed like, number one, people really, really liked it. It did pretty well, at least right in the box office. And even critics, people, I think, generally thought that movie was an absolute blast and just really funny. And kind of the theme there was, obviously not taking itself seriously in a certain way, but also not being afraid to just kind of go wild, not being afraid of the joke police and just going for it. Now, there's some things I think you just truly cannot say anymore, but Rush Hour 4, I think, needs to find the same line. You know, where can we push it to? And we're going to push it to that level as much as possible. And then we're going to push these people because, again, they're not getting any younger. Like, I think Jackie Chan can still do it. And I mean, I'm a martial artist, and the person who taught me, you know, he was doing martial arts into his 70s, but definitely slows down. Now, I think Jackie Chan maybe was in a better conditioning state, you know, than the one I'm talking about. But you do slow down. I would argue you slow down probably in your late 50s, early 60s as a martial artist. You're just not going to be the same. To match what he did, even with like the Shanghai movies, you know, to match that or to match, say, Rush Hour 3, I don't want to say that's your prime, because your prime is probably, you know, in your 30s or early 40s. So that probably wasn't even his prime, the Rush Hour years. But definitely, I think 2007 was Rush Hour 3. You're not going to get that same level, right? That was him in what, like his mid 50s, early 50s, and now he's going to be in his early 70s. Just go as far as you can, Jackie, but don't take it too far. That's probably that's the advice I would give. But, you know, it's got to have all those elements. It's got to have the martial arts. It's got to have the flair. It's got to have that buddy cop, you know, kind of thing. It's got to have the charm between these two characters. I don't care if they're 70 and late 50-year-old men. You can still have that charm. So hopefully there's nothing to worry about there. But I'm just happy. I am happy it's being made, but I also do question, why did it take this in order for it to get like the ultimate push? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.